Hollywood is being shut down by an actors' strike, unlike anything we have seen in decades. Some of the biggest stars in the world are set to join writers on the picket lines. Live to US correspondent Miley Hogan in Los Angeles. Miley, we can see them right behind you on that picket line. What does this mean for our favourite film and TV shows?
Well, Nat, good morning. Effectively, Hollywood is shut down. The studios can't operate if there's no actors to bring the scripts to life, and they can't bring those scripts to life if there's no writers to create that content. This is a team-up between writers and actors that has not been seen since the 1960s. They have joined forces to walk off the job. The writers have been on strike now for more than 2 months, and actors have now voted to join them. But this goes further than just shutting down film production and television production. It also means that actors can't take part in any promotional activities, so no red carpets, no television interviews, no world premieres. We've already seen in London in the last hour or so the Oppenheimer premiere is being held there, and the actors have walked out.
We have to acknowledge you've seen them here earlier on the red carpet. Unfortunately, they're off to break their picket signs for what we believe to be an imminent strike by SAG, joining my guild, one of my guilds, the Writers Guild.
Nat, they have a few demands. They're asking for better pay and better conditions, especially since streaming services have become such a big part of their industry. But they're also asking for protections against artificial intelligence, computers creating images and faces and voices to replace actors and writers. Those are their main demands. Now, this actors' strike actually starts at midnight tonight, and that is when we will see those actors joining the writers here on the picket line.
Gee, it's going to affect all of us because we all watch film and TV, don't we? So the Barbie movie's being promoted. I don't know whether Mission Impossible's finished. We'll cross back to you and see what effect it has on those promotional tours. Thanks, Miley. Here's Sherbo.
Thanks, Nat. Now to Brisbane, where there's been a brave rescue from a fierce house fire. The blaze destroyed multiple homes in the city's west overnight. Live to Georgie Chumley and Indra Pilley. Georgie, some of the brave residents came to the rescue.
Good morning, Shervo. That's right. This is an incredible story. Some young men who live down the road, they heard screams for help. They came out onto the street and saw a huge blaze. Now, they started running towards it. A woman in a house said that a man was stuck down the side. He actually had a broken leg. So these young men went down the side of a house that was on fire, lifted him up and carried him out. Now, he's been transported to hospital. But what these young men have said, they don't think they did anything special. They're incredibly humble heroes, but plenty of people here in the neighbourhood, as well as firefighters who arrived shortly after that rescue on scene, have a different take on the story. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
You sort of just react in that situation. Someone said that someone needed help, and you don't really think twice, you just do.
This is a massive blaze. It took out completely destroyed one home and then destroyed a carport next door. And to give you a bit of context, it required 14 firefighting units and 40 firefighters to put out the blaze. The cause of it is still undetermined. Fire investigators will be on scene later this morning to try and determine what started it.
Thanks, Georgie.
Let's get more news now. Here's Mon.
Thank you, Nat. Well, there are signs this morning that a decision on Reserve Bank boss Philip Lowe's future is imminent, with speculation a decision could come as early as today. Let's go live to Rachel Baxter in Canberra. So, Rachel, is his job safe?
Well, it's been widely speculated, Mon, that the RBA governor would not continue in his role after his tenure is up in September. And it's been widely speculated as well who some of the front runners for his job could be. There has been a lot of criticism on the Reserve Bank's handling of this recent tightening cycle and aggressive interest rate hikes to tame inflation. It sparked a review into how the central bank operates and who is at the helm. Now, we know Treasurer Jim Chalmers has to take a final recommendation to Cabinet, so a decision is imminent. Now it is just a matter of when it happens. And speaking yesterday on radio, the Prime Minister remained quite tight-lipped over whether that Cabinet meeting would occur today. We do know the Treasurer and Philip Lowe are expected to travel to India together early next week for a G20 gathering talking global finance. So for now, it's unclear whether this decision will happen before or after that trip. Mon.
OK, Rachel, thank you. The country's biggest coal-fired station is set to stay open past its expected 2025 shutdown. Live to Liam Tapper in Sydney. Now, Liam, there were fears that replacement sources wouldn't be ready in time.
Yeah, real fears, Mon, from many households across New South Wales. Of course, these green energy transmission lines, along with renewable energy zones that were being built around the state, there are major delays in putting those together and finalising those by the expected dates. And now Origin Energy, on the central coast of New South Wales, they own Eraring Energy Power Station. That is the largest coal-fired power station in the country. It supplies more than 25% of the state's power here in New South Wales, and if that is taken offline, then that means that there could be potential blackouts for Sydney, but also prices of power could go sky high. Already, so many people are already feeling the pinch of high prices, but that's where Chris Minns, he stepped in. He wants to meet with Origin Energy to extend the life of that power plant. It was meant to go offline in August 2025. However, given the backlash that could be received by the government and households continuing to feel that pinch, he wants to extend that life cycle. There will be an energy report that's going to come out in August, the health report of the energy system here in New South Wales, to give a real indication, Mon, of just how bad the situation is. But the government, they will wait till that report comes out in August to make their decision. OK, more to come. Thank you very much, Liam. There are growing calls for the Queensland government to make flu vaccines free again for everyone as an emerging influenza crisis grips the state. Doctors say doses should be free at the very least to all children, amid warnings that schools are becoming hotbeds of infection. It follows news that an 11-year-old girl from the Sunshine Coast died from the virus. She's one of 55 Queenslanders who've succumbed to the flu so far this year. A state funeral will be held next week in Melbourne for former Labor leader Simon Crean, who died last month while hiking in Germany. Family, friends and political and union figures will attend the service at St Paul's Cathedral next Thursday, with members of the public also invited to attend. The memorial will also be streamed online. Mr Crean's family have requested donations be made to the Mental Health Foundation in lieu of flowers. The Matildas are gearing up for a sellout tonight. Australia plays against France at Melbourne's Marvel Stadium in a send-off game before the FIFA World Cup. More than 50,000 fans are expected to watch in the stands, making it the country's highest attended women's football match.